Hello everyone, welcome back to Eastwick Cottage Garden. Today it is Friday and my mom and nephew are coming over and we are going to be doing some heavy hitting work in the garden this weekend. But what I wanted to do, since you guys know my mom doesn't like to be on camera, I wanted to walk around the garden space and kind of just do a before, so that one, as a note to myself of what needs to be done, and two, just so you guys can follow along and see what progress that we made this weekend. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to see what we need to take care of this weekend. Okay, I'm going to start here in the orchard grape border that we have here. Some of the things I'd like to get accomplished in here is to trim back some of this, the Artemisia wormwood silver mound, because you can see it's just oozing everywhere. So I want to give the other plants some air and some room and just clean this up a little bit. We also desperately need to deadhead the yarrow so we can promote some more blooms and just clean this up a little bit. And we will leave the dried seed heads on next go round for the fall. I'm also going to trim up this Artemisia to see if we can get it to fill in the middle a little bit. And also it's just kind of oozing all over the place as well. So we're going to take care of that. I'm going to do some deadheading of the salvia here. And I think I would clean up some of the lavender that has gone over. So maybe we could get some more flushing of that. We'll see what happens. The other thing that I would like to get accomplished is I bought some like plastic pots to go around this pot and some feet to be able to put the runners, the strawberry runners in, so we can plant them up and have some more strawberry plants. So that's on the agenda for the weekend as well. Just slipping in here really quickly to do a before of this back area here. Need to trim back the honeysuckle and these things back here. I feel like it's getting ready to rain. Anyway, I'm just doing a before shot of this. So in this area, we're going to primarily focus on cleaning up the weeds, the bindweed, and all of that. And also, no idea what that is, but also to plant the viburnum in this space right here. So that is the goal of that, to clean up these weeds. And like this is porcelain vine that is everywhere. This all needs to come out because it's choking up all my stuff. So we're going to take care of all that. And then coming around here, you can see that we have the porcelain vine and bindweed all along the fence line here. So we're going to come in and take care of that as well. Can clean up this area from the bishop's goutweed that's all over the place and just get this all tidied up and back on form. I'd also like to come in here and clean up some of the weeds in this border here. There's a lot growing on either side of the fence, so we just need to get it under control and get rid of all these weeds, especially this porcelain vine that's everywhere. So we're going to take some time to clean up this flower bed as well. We have some weeds growing in this bed, and then probably maybe put some mulch down around the area. We're also going to try to work on putting some more of the cardboard down, and then at least putting some mulch down to hold it down, and then coming in here and then doing some general maintenance and deadheading of the plants that are in here to clean it up and to promote some more growth. And in this area, just kind of do some deadheading, cleaning up. I think I am going to trim back the lupins. They are really I don't think they're dying. I just think this is what they're supposed to do. So if anybody does have any ideas if this is what they're supposed to do, can you please let me know? I'm just going to clean this up a little bit and then hopefully put a bunch of mulch down here to kind of help with the weed population. And for this bed, just come in here and do some weeding, cleaning up some things, and possibly putting some mulch down in the bare areas to try to stem down the weeds. So that is what we plan to do this weekend. So I will keep you posted on what our progress is. Hi everyone, it is several days later from the weekend. It is actually Wednesday evening, and I am going to turn the camera around and show you some of the things that actually got done this weekend and a little bit through this week. We've had a lot of rain, which has been good. Today it is, I think it's in the 80s, but it's very, very muggy. So I was out for lunch doing a little bit of weeding, but and I came back into the air conditioning, but now it's after work, and I'm gonna just show you guys a little bit of what got done this past weekend and just kind of get you up to date on what's happening in the garden. I'm gonna start here in the immersive garden. So one of the things I did get a chance to do was to come and do some deadheading. And I can see that I need to deadhead some more of the balloon flowers that have gone over in the past couple days. But we just tried to clean up the area a bit and get rid of some of the spent blooms. I have some on the phlox as well that I still need to get done. But I don't want to pull on them too much because they seem a bit tender, and I don't want to rip things off that shouldn't be ripped off. So, but that's what we got done. Really enjoying the color combination, really enjoying the little lime hydrangeas in the back here, and the roses. I just love the color combination of everything. Jeffrey hasn't had a chance to come back yet to work on the walkway, but that will happen, and then it'll be all nice and tidy. I've been pulling some tomatoes off of the tomato bushes and waiting for the peppers to ripen up here. So that is what's been happening here in this space. And this lavender, I know I showed you a few days ago that it was almost doubled, more than doubled in size, and it has grown exponentially since then. It's going really crazy. And here the abelia, kaleidoscope abelia, is blooming, which is very lovely, and just really happy with how this planter has come out. So I did a little bit of supporting the little lime hydrangea down here. I put a little brace up there so that, because these were leaning over, they are very big. This is my hand, this is the panicle. They are very, very big and super beautiful. Really enjoying them. I also, I want to go back here a bit. So what else I did in here was to add mulch to the tomato plants and the pepper plants to help keep the moisture in and help with the watering. I wanted to point out that the Pequito Orange Agastaki has now become the hummingbird's favorite snack. Since the lavender over here is petering out, the hummingbird has come over and is dining sufficiently on the Agastaki here. So if you want another hummingbird magnet, that's hard to say. If you want another hummingbird magnet, you should consider the Pequito Orange or any of the Agastakis, because they really love them. So my nephew and I came out here and tackled this fence line with getting the weeds out here. That was quite a task. We actually went on the other side of it. But I just wanted to show you, we also started working on the forsythia here. So I'm going to come in and finish doing some work on this, thinning this out, reducing it in size. The bird's nest is empty. We checked that, so we can go ahead and hack away at this to my heart's content and hopefully get it in better shape so we can get some blooms next year. So in this front border, we did some deadheading and a bit of weeding. My mom and I kind of tackled this together to get this done. I also kind of, and I'm gonna have to do a different job. I think I'm just gonna get some bamboo spikes to stake up the Veronica because they're leaning over. They're really pretty. They're leaning over, so I think I do need to work on staking them up. I also did cut back the lupin, which looks much better because it was really dead looking, and we're getting some new growth coming out of it, so hopefully it'll do well in the coming season. But we're getting a lot of blooms on the Living Easy rose over here, which I really love. So pretty. I also think that we have struggling. I did trim this back a bit, but this lobelia here is struggling. So I'm going to come in and cut back the rest of the dead and see what we could do to have this rally back. So my mom did a wonderful job of deadheading things in this area. I did a couple of fine tuning on some things. I still need to come in, and this doesn't even fit in the frame, come in and trim this back. This is the Artemisia silver mound, and I really need to come in and trim this back because it is oozing everywhere. Very interesting plant. But we're getting a lot of blooms on the new salvia that we planted, and you can see the butterflies are loving it. So these are doing well, and we have blooms on the Paquito butter yellow Agastaki here as well. So they are all doing well. As we came in, the biggest difference is my mom came through and deadheaded the yarrow. So hopefully we can get some more blooms coming out. We have some that are starting right here. So hopefully now that all of the older blooms are off, it'll start pushing out some more blooms in here. And we have the agapanthus, little galaxy, that is it's looking really, really pretty. And here is the midnight model salvia that we've been deadheading. It's like an ongoing thing. You can see here the butterflies. Love the salvia as well. It's really, really nice to see them doing their thing. So now, since the yarrow is cut back a bit, you can see more of the other plants. So we still have the yellow aspect with Sunjoy Gold Pillar Barberry, and loving the Fresco Apricot Echinacea. So I'm going to come in here also and we'll trim back the lavender and see if we can get another flush of that. I also came around, did I show you this? That I came around and I did this in another video, some mulching around the fig tree and the plum tree. We are getting some raspberries on the fall gold raspberry, which I'm a little confused about because it's supposed to be a gold raspberry like this, but mine are kind of red. So has anybody grown the fall gold raspberry before? Do they turn red before they turn golden? Not sure. I will keep you posted on that. But if you know, please let me know. Coming back here into this back orchard bed, I did some mulching here, which is making me feel a lot better. I did some trimming back more on the honeysuckle, so that's the green you see laying down there. I had to pick that up. But everything is looking great, and I also staked up this Rudbeckia, the cherry bandy Rudbeckia, because it was flopping over, and it's actually supposed to be pretty tall, so now it's taller and not leaned over. But our coreopsis, the candy stripe coreopsis, is looking really great. And I did some mulching on the Pilgrim climbing rose, and we have a new bloom on it, which I was not expecting, and it is doing really well. It looks, The beetles have been having their little taste on it, but all in all, it looks really good and it's growing really well. And on this back border here, I did some trimming up. I did some trimming around the little saplings of the crepe myrtles that my friend Dillis gave me. So I mulched them as well so they could have some clear root development. And I did cut back the weeds that were in here, and I also did cut back the goji berry bush. So I think I'm going to try to cut it out all together, see maybe if Jeffrey could help me get all this out. Maybe try to find another one. This grew on its own. I didn't know what it was, so I kind of had my yard guy hack at it, and I think that was probably its downfall. But we do have a lot of blooms happening on the crepe myrtle here, and they smell really, really good. So coming over here, I did the other little crepe myrtle sapling as well. So they're doing really well. And in the woodland garden area, I took care of all of the bindweed. It was a massive pile. I'll show you the compost bin so you can see how much weeds we actually ended up taking out. So we did a lot of the bindweed here and the porcelain vine that was in here. I actually put the gecko statue back here. Well, I asked my nephew if he could decide where he wanted it to go, the statues wanted to go, but they had to leave. So when he comes back, I'll see if he likes the placement of the statues, and if not, he can move them to where he thinks they should be. So we also planted the viburnum, and I mulched around that, and it looks really, really good. It's pretty much doubled in size since I've gotten it. So really looking forward to seeing what this does in this space. We cleaned out the weeds in this area as well, which will add some more light and air. And you can see also the Rose of Sharon is blooming and looking really pretty in this space. So this pile was almost empty when we started, and now it is full. It has actually shrunk down some since the rains that we've had, and I actually had to put some more in this bin over here. So there was a lot going on there. And I forgot to tell you guys before, but we have a rogue or volunteer tomato plant. Oh, and we also have a swallowtail on the Bidens, the campfire marshmallow Bidens, just enjoying himself or herself. So we have this volunteer tomato plant. I don't know what kind of tomato it is. I just braced it up and we'll see what we get. It's always an experiment. So you can see here the swallowtail is all over the Superbena pink cashmere. My mom got video of a black swallowtail on the cashmere as well, the Superbena pink cashmere as well, and I will insert that video in here. So this flower bed is just super full and super, I don't know, bountiful. So I'm gonna come in and actually trim this back because the Superbena is all up in everybody else's business. Everybody else's business. So I'm gonna trim it back, and look, it's all over here. I'll trim it back so that the other plants can have a little bit of a chance, and it will definitely flush back. It's a pretty powerful plant. If you want something that's going to make a big impact, and I'm late on the annual train, but I can recommend this one if you have the space for it. This is one plant. This is one plant, and it is ginormous. So, but I'm really liking it. But it's also kind of choking out my diamond spire gardenia, so we can't have that. And my Heliopsis is putting out a lot of blooms, so that is lovely. We did some deadheading in this bed. My chick charms. So on this side, you can see that they're failing. On the other side, it's even worse. So I think we're going to take them out and maybe put them in a, I don't know, some kind of shallow dish with cactus soil somewhere. But I put the little owl in this flower bed to give him a little home. But again, my nephew can decide where he wants them to go. And we did some mulching. I kind of finished up the mulching in these flower beds as well, which makes me happy. Just kind of keep the weeds back. I didn't mulch around the chick charms because I was trying to keep them as dry as possible, but we've had so much rain that I think this is not a good spot for them. So we'll have to figure something else out. But I'm overall really happy about how things are going in all of the beds. And then over here you can see these are the limbs from the forsythia that we cut down. So anyway, that is what we have so far. You can see that we're making a dent in the mulch. I wanted to give a hearty thank you to my very, very dear friend Michael, who suggested using a fork to move the mulch instead of a shovel. It makes this process so much easier. So if you have bulk mulch like this and you're trying to move it with a shovel, consider using a fork if you didn't know to do that already. And it just makes it so much easier to move around. Thanks, Michael. So this was kind of an elongated video process. Hopefully, and things are still going to be pretty warm, so I'm still probably going to be doing some intros and completing the tasks, and then following up with a closeout video of showing you what I did for the next maybe week or so till the temperatures cool down again and I can film outside comfortably. But that is what we have going on. I hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, let me know about the fall gold raspberries for anybody who has grown them. I'm curious to see why mine are red, and maybe they will yellow up after a while. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys have been safe. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thank you guys so much for all of your support and your watches and your shares and your comments and your likes and your subscriptions. So thank you all. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.